Get those corn dogs. I said, if I'm not mistaken, I should have something like because the kids don't really eat them like that. No. Yeah, when I go make them, they'll eat them sometimes, but I don't make them unless they have. Kids don't really eat them like that. No. Yeah, when I don't make them.
It look like we might bleed out the rest of the day. Just sitting back down at the desk. Like we might bleed out the rest of the day. Just sitting back down at the desk. We are at a just looking. I got a price action line right here where it caught support at. Let's see. So 5 minute has room back up to about 44. Is that 6 points? If it wanted to kind of bounce right here, but 2 minute has the fast moving average at 43, so has room back up there. On the tick chart, it has room back up to about 42. So those are the levels that I would be kind of concerned if I was trying to take a quick long scalp. But clearly we see all, or not all, but 3 of the 4 time frames are bearish right now. And the market is kind of agreeing with it. This is a level where the 15 minutes should bounce. Should bounce. If you notice, take the 15 out. You see, once it crossed over around 3:30 this morning from being bearish, it pretty much has gotten support off of the slow moving average right here around 9 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock. It kind of dipped down, caught support off of previous low of day. And then that 9:30 candle, that's that volatility candle. You can almost remove the wicks off of it and just go with the body of the candle right there. And you see, we kind of just been in an uptrend since then. Been in a decent little uptrend. Every time it did pull back on the 15, it caught support off of the slow moving average, which is right where we're sitting at now. So you could realistically expect for this to catch support. It's kind of deep pullback off of this move. I would have wanted it to catch support off of this blue line right here. And I did take quite a bit of trades this morning, just trading this range from like 16036 back up to 16050. Getting out as it came up to that line and resetting. So that is a like I say, this is a good area that I would be looking for the market to kind of bounce and look at what it's doing. Just kind of holding 16035. Let's see, if you get in at 16035, those wicks, it's like a 2-point risk if you took that off of this low, off of any of these coming back using this first candle as your stop. And you see, even this candle didn't stop it out. It would have got you close, but I always want to give it some extra wiggle room anyway. So 16036, let's just do this real quick. The low of that candle is 33.25, so call it 3 points. I'd probably give it 2 more points and make it a 5-point stop. And this could possibly bounce, but you would only be risking $10 on one MNQ, because right now being up, I'm actually up across all of my Apex accounts today. I would not be wanting to put on risk. And if I took this trade with an NQ, I would be risking $100. But I do kind of like how this is wicking off. You see it up here on the tick chart as well. Just kind of wicking. I really would not want to take this trade until one of these flipped green. So taking it down here definitely would be an anticipation trade, anticipating it to hold and go. No real confirmation off of any of the charts. This is nice too, though. And I just looked over at the 5. 5 left a nice little green doji candle here, but also getting this nice bottom and tail green candle that just closed. So that's nice. Like I said, this has room on the 5-minute back up to about 47. Yeah, it's nice. Not a bad picture. Let's see what the 200, see if it's flipped green yet. Look at that. It hadn't flipped green, but look how close it is. If this candle finishes strong, which it didn't, it just closed very weak. Had it finished strong and then the next one broke the high, the 200 would have flipped green. But you do see on the 200, you getting these tests of this level. Breaking down, it's holding, break down, it holds, break down, it holds. One thing about that though is, I always say pressure will make a pipe burst. if the sellers keep pressing this issue, it's only a matter of time before they actually let this level go. So that's one thing that you gotta kind of be concerned about. And there it is right there. Look at that. Like I say, they press it enough times, it's gonna let this level go, and then it's gonna let this level go. And the thing about that is if it lets this level go and uses this as resistance, then yeah, it definitely just gonna bleed out the rest of the day. And that's how kind of how I read this. But you saw just how close the 200 came to flipping green. If that would have flipped green, that would have gave the bear or the bulls a little bit of optimism. But it's going back over to the 200. I'm sorry, the 500. If you're out there, now would be an excellent time to go ahead and give the video a like. It don't cost you a thing, and it will definitely help me out in these YouTube streets. Just basically streaming my layout for the afternoon session, just seeing what the market is doing. I'll back out the 2-minute chart real quick. We'll see that the market had been in a tear pretty much. A couple of times it flipped from red to green. If we go back here to market open at 9:30, but nice little run up here, crossed over, then we get the cross back. They call that something, but I'm not sure what they call that move right there when you cross to one direction and you flip right back over and cross. But with the market being bullish, when this went red and flipped back, this is an excellent trade right there. And that's usually going to be a pullback for a bigger time frame. So watch this. I'm going to drop, let's see, I'll drop a circle right there. I could look over at the 15 and see that it was a pullback, but I'm going to just drop that circle. We'll share it on all time or on all charts just to see. And now if you come over to the 15, look at that. It was a pullback on the 15-minute. Nice move up. It pulls back and you get a nice little pullback and break of this 4-hour level right there. So it's always a nice little confirmation. We go up, look at the 5. Let's see. On the 5-minute, you see it here as well. A little deeper pullback on the 5, and it was just kind of chopping around. But on the 15, it was a clean pullback. So something else just to kind of look at when you looking at your charts, just to kind of see those areas and see like the confluence, as you want as many things in alignment to confirm the trade. And that would have been one right there. You get the flip from red to green. You go over, look at another time frame. It's a decent pullback. You just basically take the high, put your stop somewhere down below the low, and let the trade work. But yeah, like I said, I think this is, what is it, 2:30 now? Yeah, this could just kind of bleed on out. Basically, every time it gets to a level, it's going to kind of try to bounce off of it until one of these charts can flip and get green. And like I said, you can always try to play a little scalp. If this level is holding, trade it back up to about 44, 45. See how it reacts to that level. If you notice on the 2-minute, that's my slow moving average. If you come up on the 15, or I'm sorry, the 500 tick, that same chart, it's about 1644. This is probably the 20 SMA, 40 SMA. So 40 SMA, and it's also where I have a price action level at from earlier today. Look at those wicks coming off of it. And that's just how easy it is to drop those levels on your chart. They've been used multiple times. It's a good indication that it's going to get used again when the price gets back up to it. Let's look at that tick chart again. There we go. So on the 200, we've got the flip. I don't really trade the 200 much anymore just because it's kind of whippy. It'll flip quite a bit, but like right there, how it made that move. Thing about that is if you look down at the 2-minute chart below, it's red. So this is a good pullback. Again, let's draw an oval right there. And let's see if this flip on the tick chart is going to be a pullback on the 2-minute chart. So where are we dropping it at? I'll blow it up a little bit. I see it down there, but I'm gonna blow it up just a little bit so you can see it. There it is right there. That's a pullback. 2-minute chart headed down. It pulls back. It flips on the tick chart from green to red. Entry, you could put your stop up there. First area of concern is going to be this pivot out to the left. Look at what it does. Come straight down. That looks to be about 2R though from here to here. Maybe 1.5, close to 2R before that first area of concern. Kind of works its way back up, comes back down, test it again. Pressure makes a pipe burst. If it tests this area enough times, it's going to let it go. And that's what it did. It let it go. So that's just what I call chart analysis 101. Just enough times looking at the chart, studying live traders and their kind of way of thinking on what the market should do. So we'll go ahead and remove that. But yeah, that's something that's good to see. Like I said, as long as you're going with the trend. So this crossover, even if you come up, look at the 5-minute, on the 5, that area would have been right here, which is another nice little move up. You get a top and tail. Not a real deep pullback, but it pulls back to the moving averages, breaks the low. You put your stop on the top side. Money, as they say. And guess, look what happened. Look at that while we talking. It flips, it goes green, it flips back red. Let's come down, look at the 2-minute chart and what's happening. It's a pullback. Pulls back, breaks the low. You can set your stop on the high. This time, you don't really have 2-to-1 or really 1-to-1 before this first area of concern. So again, I'm watching it for that line and boom, it just snaps through it. That's what you want to see. That's what you want to see right there. That's the picture of money. That's the picture of money. That's how the bears let the bulls know that they have no chance in this market right now. They tried to hold this little line right here. They tried to hold this little pivot and the bears slammed it. They pretty much slammed that level and just broke right through it with little to no resistance. So I'd come over here, look at my higher time frame, look at the 15. Where's the next level? We got an hourly 50 HMA, which is this broken black line right here. So if the bulls cannot recover this 4-hour level right here, it's a good chance that this market just can just keep on bleeding, like I said. Let's see, and look at this, the 500 never did flip green. Never did flip green. But we are at what, 2:40 in the afternoon? So market has slowed down considerably. It's taken a while to form these 500 candles because you need 500 orders to come through to create a candle. So this is almost that action of after hours where the market is kind of slow. And in that case, you can kind of flip over to a 200 tick chart just to kind of see what the action is like. Come down to the 2 minute. We do see that the bulls are trying their best and they just couldn't do it. They were trying their best to get this back above this purple 4-hour level. No haps. There's the big flush again. Thing that I don't have on the 15-minute that will be on the 5 and the 2-minute is VWAP, which is, you now see that level coming in on the 2-minute chart. You come up to the 5-minute, you see it on the 5 as well. That broken gold line. Another area that a lot of market makers and retailers use. So we should expect a little action around here. Maybe a bounce back up from 21 to 30. Maybe get trapped in between there. But that's only if there's some bulls out there that want to play. Right now, it don't look like it. It looks to me that the bears, they crushing. They slamming these levels. They are literally just slamming these levels. Comes to this level, let a bull try to think that he's gonna do something. Slamming it. Literally slamming the market. Yeah, that was wicked. That was wicked right there. That was a 20-point move in this 2-minute candle. That candle just went from 16,028 down to 16,000. 28 points. Slammed it. But 200 tick chart is trying to flip. It's trying to flip right here. It's going to have a little problem getting back over previous days close. And again, from what we have just seen, when you get these flips back to green and these higher time frames are red, it's basically just a pullback to go lower. Good volume in this candle though. Good volume. Come over, look at the 15-minute chart, which is showing you volume for all candles this morning. It's trying to get back up over this high volume candle, which was at 130. As always, that first candle in the morning is usually going to be the most highest volume candle. Just because it's when people either trying to get in or out of a trade. So here we go. We see the 200 has flipped back green. I wouldn't expect this to do much more than come back up and maybe touch. Let's see what that is. That other one was 40. This may be 80. Nope, it is 60. So maybe come back up and touch this 60. Look at how these things were just stacked. That's beautiful like that. Love to see those when they're stacked. But this is not going higher until it can break this level on the tick chart and then use it as support. Otherwise, this is just another short-lived move to continue going down lower. see what it wants to do. I wouldn't even be willing to put money on either side of this play right here. Because like I said, this could easily make a move back over, come back down, use it as support. It can come back down, kind of bounce off of previous days' close. It's just kind of trapped in an area. But every time we come to a key area, you see how it just gets slammed. It's not like a subtle just move down. It's like the Bears just say, nah, we not going to even let you think you have a chance. What, you just put 2 orders out there, here go 20 of them. What, you just put 100 orders, here go 500. And they just mush it back down. Look at that. Bulls say, okay, we're gonna move this up just a little bit. And the Bears, nah, partner. Y'all have no parts in this. Let's see. It's setting up for another flip right here. This candle closes and then the next one drop below it. I think it will flip back red again. And like I said, I just look at those as pullbacks. These are not areas where I would be wanting to go long just because it flipped green. I'm going to be waiting on it to flip back red and continue the momentum to the downside. Because all charts are telling me, or look at the 15, it's still green, but we are well below the moving averages right now. So the Bears are just dragging these moving averages down. You see, they had been in an uptrend. The Bears are just forcing these moving averages to just get drugged down. And if they keep that momentum up, eventually the 15-minute chart will flip back red again. And there's the 200 flipping back red. Just a pullback. Just a nice little subtle pullback to continue going lower. That's all that was. We look at the 500. I'm sure it never has flipped green. Never has flipped green. So that's where it's all about, being able to look at the different time frames to kind of get a picture of what the market is doing. Flip on back over. I think I've finished the afternoon out just kind of watching the 200 tick chart. This here is setting up for a you can call that a higher low if you want to use this low right here. You can call that a higher low. You can almost drop a we'll do it. I won't say you could. Why say you could when you can, right? Let's drop a line right there and see. And notice I didn't drop my line on the actual wicks. I like to get as many points touching. So I have the base of this red candle touching, the base of the green, the wick of that green one. So I like to get as many points touching. But yeah, you can consider that a higher low. If this flips one more time, which is looking like it's trying to set up to flip over this 60 SMA and flip over previous day's close, then I think we'll see a more significant move back up. Maybe the 16017, but it has to break those levels. The bulls, like how you've been seeing the bears when they come up to a significant level, break through with strength to the downside, the bulls would have to do the same. They can't just like meander their way up. They have to like get up through this level with some strength. And the bears are just, they strong. They are strong. They are not trying to let this thing go. But we are getting ready to flip again. Like I said, if the bulls stay strong, we'll see it. But bears are in full control right now. Just looking at this trend line, it's probably a little bit more like that right there. And that's the beauty of these trend lines. You can kind of, you adjust them as they play out. So this is kind of what they call forming a wedge. Let's bring this out. Eventually, it will, if it stays in this wedge, eventually it has to break out one way or the other. It has to break out to the high side or to the low side. Because once you get to this point right here, there is no other way for it to go. But if you draw your price levels and you draw your trend lines, just know, like that first time that you draw it, you may have to adjust it a little bit. You may have to get it to work how you want to work. There's the move over previous day's close. And we do see that it has flipped back green. That's kind of what I figured. It would flip back green on that break over. But bulls are going to have to get this over, I would say, by at least 5 points so that they can come back down and use it as support. Or it's just going to have to consolidate over it for a while. Just kind of consolidate right over it. We did just get a new 2-minute candle to drop. And then we'll be getting a new 5-minute candle in 50 seconds. So, and looking at the 5, this is kind of setting up for that bear flag to break back down. But with flags, they could break either way. Just like with this wedge, it can break either way. Hopefully we won't see the lower side of this wedge anymore, because now price is trading between the moving averages and previous day's close. So if the bears can get enough strength to get this back down to the lower side, that's when I would be looking for this to possibly go lower. Right now, I'm looking for this to make a move back up to about 17 if the bulls can stay strong. Let's look at see, the 500 is getting close to trying to flip. I would say maybe another 2 candles if the bulls can stay strong. Maybe another 2 candles and you'll see the 500 tick chart go green. Theoretically, say 2 out of the 6 have flipped back green, or 2 of the 5. Because I won't consider this 15-minute chart. But I would say 2 of the 5. First one being the 200, second one being the 500, have flipped back green. And that's a nice candle right there. That's a very nice candle closing over previous day's close. And what did I say? Oh, what was the 200? I said up to 17. If I come over to the 500, you see an area right here at 16,015.98. So that's actually where I would be expecting this to get back up to. to about 15, 16. So 3 points. Has 3 points in it. And notice how much longer it takes for a 500 tick chart candle to form. Volume orders are coming in. Won't say volume. We have to say orders are coming in when we're looking at these charts. So orders are coming in. That one formed fairly quick. Didn't want to see it form in that fashion, but it is what it is. And basically, for every one 500 candle that you see forming, that's 2.5 that formed on the 200 tick chart. So, yeah, slowly trying to make that move. We've reclaimed previous days' close, which is good. I haven't really gotten a true retest, but for this small area, I wouldn't really want to see a retest. I just want to see this run up to 16, then possibly come back down, try to catch it as support. And there we go. That's the move. That's the move. And this is when you can kind of short. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It's not short. I didn't mean to say short. This is when you can kind of scalp these longs when other time frames are telling you that you are in a bearish trend. You just got to like trade them up to a key level. When it gets to that level, see how it reacts. Notice how this broke over this level. So just because it got to it, I wouldn't get out. It came back. It based over it. It's using it as support now. And it's trying to continue higher. But now this is, look at that. Notice how it wicked off of it. It should be using this as support now. Anytime the bears try to get this below this level, the bulls should just come right back in and buy it up, because they don't want to lose the momentum that they have. And that's why you always hear me say, like, I want to see a area get broken. If the market is really moving by at least 5 points. So this made a move about 3 points. That just gives it room to do what it did. Come back down, retest, and go. So now it can break this little wick right here and use that wick as support. So this is nice. This is a good picture. But now if we come down to our 2 minute and our 5 minute, look at what we're coming up to. VWAP. VWAP is right there around 16,021. You notice it kind of just wicked up off of it. So now we have to see how it's going to react to VWAP. Oh, no, I don't own that property. I'm not self-paying. Man, my whole face about to swell up. I had that darn clothes rack right when I stand up. Hey, luckily I have glasses on. Ooh, this thing is ripping. Rip-a-roo, rip-a-roo, rip-a-roo. Darn, it just took my whole head off just standing up. Man, look at that. Nice move through VWAP. Nice move through this slow moving average. Come up, look at the 200. We got the 200 SMA. Yep, 200 SMA. Another significant price level that you have to kind of respect. And you see, price is respecting it. So you have to kind of respect that it's going to do what it's doing until Spark says it does otherwise. And that's the good thing in trading. You get different perspectives. So my perspective when price comes to a key level is that it's going to reject it. And Spark's perspective is all levels are made to be broken. Which one is right? Which one is wrong? I think they're both right. I think they're both right. Levels are made to be broken, and levels will get rejected, like it's doing right here. So, my style of trading, I am going to get out if it does not break that level, and then I'll reset and get back in when it's over that level. Spark, he'll take a trade and he will stay in that trade for the break, giving his stop enough room to where he can stay in the trade and not be worried about it not breaking it at a specific time. Like I say, for me, I'm going to trade this up to this level. First, I'm going to trade it up to each key level and see how it reacts. So it got up here, it held. Now I'm going to be watching to this level or looking at other charts to see if there's a possible level on a chart where I might be a little concerned. And look, now we're right back up to it again. It's a good pullback. Very nice pullback right there. It's doing. Let's see if it's going to get through it. Does. Next area of concern is going to be that purple line right there. And that's a nice close over the level. I'm pretty sure that the 500 has flipped green. Let's see. Yep, 500 flipped green right there. I'm going to draw. I like to do this. Just draw a quick circle and then look and just see how on other time frames a particular crossover was. So we'll draw that there. We come down to the 2 minute. See, it was like a little breakout. Guess it came back over previous day's close. You buy the high, put your stop either here, or you can give it a little extra room. See on the 5 minute. 5 is just reclaiming previous day's close. And then you can't even really see that dot on the 15 because it's just inside of that 15-minute candle that's working. Come over, look at the 200. It's probably going to be a nice little breakout right there. So that's the beauty in seeing the different pictures that they give. We'll move this down there right here and then look at it on the 500 chart just to see. Still going, the chart would still been red when that happened there. Yeah, it was still red, but it was just kind of bouncing off of this trend line that we had just drew. So that's what I like to look at, just getting that different pictures from different time frames. Hey, what's going on, Boss 480? Appreciate you stopping by. Let's see. Saying, how often am I going to live stream? I'm trying to do it. I would like to do it daily, but I may just pick one day out of the week to do it. And I was thinking Wednesdays, maybe starting Wednesday mornings. I would like to do it daily, It's just gonna be a matter of me finding the time to do it. But right now, probably gonna be looking at Wednesdays. But definitely appreciate you checking me out. Look at that. Look at where that wick came up to. That wick basically came right there to that 4 hour level. All right, Chappie, I'll catch you later. All right, have a good day. Yeah, came right up there to that level. That's why I said it's important to know where these levels are at. Because if you don't know where a particular level is at to get in a trade or to get out of a trade, it's kind of hard to manage it. But if you know where those levels are at, easier to put risk on. You don't want to take a trade risking 5 points and you have a major area of concern that's 2 points away, because it's going to kind of skew your odds in the trade. You're more inclined to lose more than you are to make. So definitely want to know where those key levels are at. The way that the market is set up is not too hard, not too difficult to find those levels. And I just like to start at the highest time frame that I'm gonna use, and then just back my way into the smaller micro time frames. So that particular purple dash line that you're seeing right there, where the market is kind of just tapping, I found that on the 4 hour chart. And what I mean by saying I found it, I found several areas where it was either a pivot or you saw wicks kind of just bouncing off of that line, bouncing off of that area. And then I just dropped a line there. And then I color code my lines just so that I know what chart it came from. So a purple, I know that was a 4 hour. A black, I know that that was an hourly. A red, I know that was a 15-minute chart. Gray, these are just intraday lines that I drop throughout the day. So when you see these like very light gray lines, those are just ones that throughout the day, as the charts are forming, if you come down, look at this 2-minute chart, you kind of see this area where price kind of just hung out. It would close, it closed, it would open there. You get some lows that are there. I just use those gray lines so that I kind of know. And the thing is, these gray lines can eventually change to a different color. So if you go out and let's say look at a 5-minute chart, if you see on the 5-minute chart that it was pivots a couple of times, then that line might turn into a blue line. Now this blue line right here, I just colored it blue this morning, but it has no significance. It's not, it normally would be like this light gray, but we were talking in the Discord this morning and I snapped a screenshot, and just to make it easy, I colored that like that royal blue, but that's not an actual color that you would normally see on my chart. But yeah, these grays can eventually turn into a blue line or a red line if you're seeing that it's being respected on the 15-minute chart. You can change it. That's nice. That's nice, boss. What you primarily trade? What instrument do you primarily trade? Also, do you prefer a white chart? You prefer light charts or dark charts? I like to ask different traders that. Some people, they think, okay, that's what's up, spy. Yeah, a lot of people um, think that the light charts are old school for old people like myself. I used to use the dark charts. It was just kind of hard on my eyes, so I switched over to the white charts. Just made it a little easier for me to see. When you say you trade the spy, do you trade options with the spy? Are you big money trading actual um, shares? Let's see what this thing is going to do. Okay, okay, yeah. Traded options for a while. I still swing options, but don't really day trade them too much anymore. Um, I had a couple of people back when I was trading options told me I should look into futures, and I finally did it, and the mystique wore off, just like options had the mystique that people tell you. So I switched on over to futures and hadn't really looked back. Gotcha, gotcha. It makes sense. Yeah, definitely appreciate y'all truck drivers. Y'all provide a lot more than people think to the economy. So appreciate what you do, boss man. Be safe out there. Let's see what the 200 is like. Notice, go back to the 500. See how it's just been green? Just kind of been green. It's bouncing off of the slow moving average. So just like how I said, the 15 had been bouncing off of the slow moving average on the 500 tick. Once we got above it, just kind of been bouncing. Now it's breaking below it, right as I say it. If it fails, we're going to head back down. But looking at the 200, look how many times it's kind of flip-flopped. It's green, and it flipped red for one candle. It flipped green for one candle. Back red, 4 candles, green. Just kind of flip-flopping. So that's why I kind of prefer, especially when volume comes in. When 500 candle can form in like less than a minute, I prefer to watch it on the 500. What platform? I use Tradeovate, which I don't suggest. I would suggest going with Ninja Trader. And Ninja Trader actually owns Tradeovate. But if you new coming in the game, I would say go with Ninja Trader. For me, I can't switch over to Ninja Trader because I already have a Tradeovate account, and Ninja Trader sees that account in their system as a Ninja Trader account, and you can only have like one account, so like one personal account. And I guess they do that so you don't trade against yourself. They don't want you like taking shorts in one account and longs in the other account. So you can only have one particular type account. But yeah, I would say go with Ninja Trader. Let's see. As far as the margin, very, very inexpensive to get in. So with futures, you have what they call E-minis, which is just the NQ. And then you have MNQ, which is what they call micros. Charts are going to look somewhat the same, but MNQs, because they are cheaper to get into, and this is the MNQ chart, it just finally flipped over. Price and everything is just about the same. MNQs, you can open an account with I tell people a minimum of $500. Margin on one MNQ is $100. So if your account goes below $100 and you in a trade, they're going to send you a margin notice. They won't get you out the trade, but they're going to send you a notice telling you that. So $500, you can comfortably take a couple of MNQs. NQs, basically you add a zero. You add a zero to everything when it comes to the difference between an NQ and an MNQ. So MNQ, or actually we'll say NQ, for every point that NQ moves, that's $20 for every point. So MNQ, for every point that it moves, is $2. You just take a zero off of it. And they trade using what they call ticks. So 25, 50, 75, and then the whole number. So it's not as difficult as it might seem. It's like a learning curve with anything though. When you got into options, you had to kind of learn the Greeks, had to learn delta, the theta, gamma. Some people go in detail with the Vegas. But once you kind of understand it, to me, futures aren't hard at all. And you don't have to worry about the Greeks. And that's why I got out of day trading options, because it just made it to where I don't have to worry about what theta is. And the biggest issue, I took a trade in Tesla one time, same day option, and the trade, or Tesla was green, but my option trade was red. And as the day went on, like I started getting redder and redder. I finally got out for a $50 loss on that trade. And by the end of the day, that same contract was worth $700 because Tesla just went bonkers later on. But that's what kind of got me out of trading options. Let's see. Yeah, prop firms are, and it's a inexpensive way to get into trading futures when you don't want to put your own money on the line. What I'm trading right here is a futures account. I'm trading Apex. Apex is a popular one, and Top Step is another popular futures platform. I like Apex because they give you killer deals. Right now, they got a 90% off deal. So normally a $25,000 eval account would cost you $147. With 90% off, that account is $15. With a $25,000 account, you have to make $1,500 to qualify. And you basically have to make $1,500 every 10 days to request a payout. I'm trading out of a $25,000, a $50,000, and a $100,000 account. I have three accounts. And actually, I got an old $50,000 that's like right on the edge. And actually, I kind of brought that one back up today. So it's decent. But yeah, prop firms, they're good. I got one payout, and I've had an opportunity to get maybe 3 or 4 other payouts that I just was being stupid on. But pretty much everybody that hangs out in the Discord nowadays are trading prop accounts. Some of them trade cash accounts and prop accounts side by side. I pulled my money out of my cash account because I was doing some boneheaded things. So kind of stepped away from it. But look at, this thing broke this 4-hour level with some strength. Time is at 3:20. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. That's the crazy thing. That's why I don't like using these trend lines between the tick and the minute charts, time-based charts. It actually looks like we trading below it on the 2-minute chart. So what I'm gonna do is just tell this to only show on the tick chart. There we go. But yeah, no problem, man. Don't mind answering questions if I can. It's what this community all about. 'Cause like I said, had somebody not told me about futures, I definitely would not have looked to trade it, because you hear futures, oh, you could lose all your money. Same way options, or you could lose all your money. But if you understand the dynamics of how it works, it's really not that hard. Booyah. 2-minute chart just flipped green. 2-minute chart just flipped green. So that's a good sign for the bulls. Just take a peek, see what the 200. Like I said, during the daytime, early in the morning, I will rarely look at the 200 tick chart nowadays. It's strictly the 500. But just want to see what it was doing there. Coming up to another little intraday price level. Look at that entry right there. We'll put this little bubble in it. That was where the 200 had flipped. 200 had flipped green. What have we ran? Almost 30 points, just shy of 30 points. Correct. Yeah, that's the key. That's the key with it all, man. Respecting your stop loss, not going tilt. Yeah, like you say, you don't have to worry about it too much, as long as proper money management. Proper money management. Yeah, and that's the other good thing about futures, is that there is no PDT. Um, and it's low money coming in. Low money coming in. Yeah, and see, you got the idea that long as you had that stop in place, you don't have to worry about it just draining you out on one trade. This this held right here, I'd probably be looking to go long. Let's see something. I've been working on some bots, algos to automatically take trades. So I like to look and see also at certain levels where like it may have crossed over on a time frame. Um, what were the criteria on the other time frames? This is market made a nice little bounce off of that little trend line right there. Nice little bounce. And then you get that flip. It's on and popping. Gave a couple of nice areas that you could have got in. Fairly decent risk to reward. Could have got in on this little pullback right here. Let's see. Let's drag this up to there and see what it looks like on the 2-minute. Yep. So getting in on that pullback is right here on the 2-minute pullback as it's holding over VWAP. So yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Getting now we have what Three of the charts are green because I'm sure the 200 is gonna be green. Yeah, we're way green. So you got the 200, you got the 500. Now you got the 2-minute green. 5-minute has quite a bit. I doubt the 5-minute will flip green before the end of the session. I doubt that. Just looking at how much the Bulls would have to drag this back up.
Yo,
What's up, boss? I'm on streaming, so
that's awesome.
yeah.
Did you narrate this up move right here?
Yeah, I've been kind of watching it and just talking it through.
Man, you see what I posted? I
Uh,
had an error, bro, and I mean I didn't do bad. I managed to take it to 2R. And I had a lot size of 3. I'm in 4 MNQ contracts. I have a lot size of 3 up at the what you call it, and I had the bracket order thing going on. So, anyways, I tried to get out of 3 contracts when he hit 2R and see how long I could hold the runner. Man, I hit that thing 3 times. I ended up getting into short.
remember I told you I did that today a few times. Yeah, I would try to get out of a long, and then I would have 2 in another screen, so I would get out of one long, and then I'd be short one. I just kept flopping money, just stupid. Hold on one second.
I've seen it ASAP, so it was like a break-even trade, just straight commission. I ended up I canceled the whole trade. I canceled all orders.
Which when you ask what chart am I looking at, boss, what you referring to? I see your question, but I'm not sure what chart or during what time, if I may have been speaking on something. But yeah, I've been watching this move since I'm looking at NQ right now. NQ. Yeah. Yeah. I don't like the way that the ES moves. So I don't really trade ES. I won't even say I don't trade ES. It's kind of choppy to me. It's not as volatile as NQ, which a lot of people like. That's why they like to trade it. The moves can be a little smoother. You don't get those volatile moves, but I don't mind the volatility of NQ. And then, like I said, just based on how much risk I'm trying to put on, I'll flip between NQ and MNQ just because it's that zero difference in risk. So let's say I have to give a trade 15 points. If I trade NQ, that's $300. If I trade MNQ, it's $30. So that's the only reason why I'll kind of flip between MNQ and NQ, just based on what kind of size I want to put on that trade. Usually I'm risking 10 points. So on an NQ, that's $200. And that's usually that's tolerable. But yeah, I don't too much mess with ES. Like I said, most of the guys that's in the Discord, they trade ES. It's just not something that I like to trade. Look like we might be topping right here. You can kind of see over to the left. I always like to look to the left. You look to the left, you can kind of see it was a little congested. Uh-oh, wrong chart. A little congested back over here around 220. That's kind of where we trying to get over, especially that pivot right there. See, these charts just suck me in, man. I gotta get out there. I got some orders I gotta get shipped out this evening.
Man, I was in that trade just now, and I was just a little nervous about the supply line that came in. I'm like, oh, come on, you gonna do me like that, cuz? I had a pretty decent fill though. But what I did like about activating these plays on my chart is the stops are relatively reasonable. Um, like normally I would take the stop all the way back down 20 points. This thing say you ain't got to go but 10 points.
Exactly. That's why I was saying, like, based on the time frame, like today, I had some 3-point stops.
Yeah, and that's the ATR in the 1 minute.
Yeah. So, and that's why, because you figure if usually I don't want to risk any more than 10 points. And I'm risking 3 points. I can go 3 NQs. And the thing with going 3 NQs is just because the stop is 3 points, don't mean that it's only going to make a small move. That bad boy can make a nice move. And now, like, you up 5R out of nowhere with, and it's, what's that, 15 points? That's not unrealistic for NQ to snap.
Like not at all.
Yeah, so it's
And it's so yeah, man, like this thing then hit 3. So I was just saying when I got into the trade, it wanted to go 1R and then pull back. Test my patience. Good thing I have a mechanism to not just leave based on that red grid. They say you want to give it 2R worth of room. So at the time that I took the trade, eight points was 2R worth of room from the stop. So I mean, I gave it that room, and thank God because all it did was stop people out and then bounce back up and rallied like 3R from the next play that it gave. So,
what is that? An indicator? A TOS indicator?
no, it's well, yeah, it's an indicator that someone created on TOS, and that was the RSM thing I was telling you about. Like they have a way of just pretty much drawing the play out for you on the chart. So you know why I take trades. I was like, oh, I'm not doing it because of no RSM. I want to do it because of a reason that I see. So like the purple candle setup, it fired based off of that logic, and it gave me some targets and a stop based off the ATR. So when these things come on, I can take like essentially I can just take these plays all day.
Nice
The
move.
down move was the banger, bro. That shit caught the top.
Yeah, because I'm looking at it, and then I'm assuming that those green lines are like different target areas.
Yeah, those are the target areas. So based on the volume or the velocity of the ATR, it will pretty much give you target space off of the ATR at the time. So at the time, the max ATR was like 5 points. So it's not really big here. It's not gonna be big target. In the morning, you see 21, 22. So in the morning, I think the ATR was about 7 points, so it like expanded it. Now, if you do this on a 1 hour or a bigger time frame, so it like gives you even wider targets. That's my type of thing. I don't put the trade on and walk away.
Yeah, and I see it kind of flip. So it's flipping.
Yeah, I ain't let go though.
No, I'm saying though, but side, I'm looking at one of your charts. It flips short right there. So
The last few ones that I posted.
let's see. And see, that's what I've been looking at on my charts. Like, so, man, I want to take that long right there. We kind of range trading on the tick chart right now. That's only 4 points though. It's the one that you posted right before. Let me see. Not the last one that you posted, but the one right before that where you got dudes standing up on that gift, where you got that trade going short.
Right. So that trigger for the short was because we broke the 50 HMA. So it seems like when I don't think it's necessarily the break of the 50, but they flipped the trend bearish for a slight second on that 1 minute chart.
Yeah, see, that's the same thing that I noticed. Good gracious, man,
That
dude.
was a nice.
I literally was going to flip over and take a MNQ right there. Let me flip my charts to MNQ.
Yeah, that was nice.
Cause I don't plan on taking any more like size trades, but that was a clean that was a clean move right there. And that's
That
crazy.
that second box, the shit just went 4R, bro. And it never looked back. It never touched the red again. The one I get into want to flip flop up and down within the red freaking range. Thank God I didn't get stopped out. But even my trade now is up 4R for my entry.
Yeah, you just gotta have that patience. But what I was saying, so like how on your chart it flipped red short. What I noticed today, and I noticed this a couple of days ago too, is if let's say that the 5 minute and the 2 minute are green, and then the 500 tick chart will be green, it'll flip red, and then it'll cross back over and flip green. It's like a perfect pullback. It'll be a perfect pullback on the 2 minute or the 5 minute.
Yeah.
It sets you up for a perfect pullback on that higher, on that like one or two time frames higher. So that's kind of like I wrote that a crossover script, and that's what it's kind of based off of. So it kind of gives you good, clean pullback entries. I'm gonna tighten it up a little bit this evening, but it gives clean pullback entries. But man, we kind of rallying. End of the day, that's pretty good. I'm trying to say I can't really see in that where it just gave you like one candle. I'm assuming where it kind of pulled back or it flipped.
It gave about 2 or 3 in that little short
Yeah.
frames there. Yeah, because the trend. Yeah, I think this is firing because the trend gets flipped. So whenever you see a green band versus a red band, and then it's saying, all right, let's ride this trend for as long as we can. Right now, we're about to hit 5R on this goddamn trade. This is crazy.
It's running. Like I said, I literally was like just looking at it and say, my MNQ charts have no lines on it. All of my lines are on my NQ chart. So I guess I just need to look at that one. But yeah, I was like, man, I could take one MNQ. Just I'm sitting here watching this chart play out. If I lose anything, it wasn't going to be no more than 10, 15 bucks. But kind of could have padded it. And look at that. I had just drew this line on the chart before I flipped it. And look at where we kind of based out. Now we got over it and can possibly use that as support. But yeah, this market, man, it's a nice move from coming off a previous day's close. Cause that was a wicked candle at like 240, 242. That big drop. It's like 30 points in that candle. Must have been some news or something came out. Let's see, what is that candle? That's a 3-point candle. Look at you about to do something stupid. Let's switch that over.
Yeah, so what I was just thinking about, right, was if a person misses the initial trade where you're supposed to get in where that red box is, like, how do you get into this market and be a part of this up move? Because it's not done, right? Like this thing could literally blow through the top. And if you're waiting for another play to set up, it's not going to give you that unless it flips bearish and then back bullish.
Yeah. So if you just barely missed it, then you just account for however many points that you missed it by. Because you still want to have your stop down there at the base of that red box. So let's say the entry was like 35 and it's at 42 right now. You just got to account for those extra points so that you can still put your stop. So like sometimes, like I was listening to Axeman, and he would say that he got in late, which made his stop be a little bit higher than it should be. Like
Right.
you can't do that. You have to adjust your stop. So like what Evan is good at, like he has that calculator, and this is like, let's say, actually we still say futures. Like let's say he was supposed to got in 10 contracts and he missed his entry, and now his calculator will tell him, okay, I need to have 8 contracts. So you still can get in the trade, you just don't get in full size so that you don't catch that slippage. And then if it's just ran like it's ran right now, now you just gotta wait for a pullback. Cause you can wait on a pullback and then get in on the pullback and then put your stop below the pivot like how you be doing. And now you don't have to have your stop all the way back down at the base of that red box that's on that chart. So you kind of just, so let's say that this thing has gave a pullback. I don't know, because I don't know I don't know how old this chart is, but if it's given a pullback, like I would just get in off of that pullback. And like I said, now my stop is going to be below that pullback as opposed to being all the way back down at the base of that red, because it shouldn't go back down now. Like this thing should just be running. If it's trending, like how you were saying, if it's trending.
Right. I mean, ultimately, that's where you make money, right? Like if the market trends. So, I mean, you can make money off of a pivot and then get into a trend, which is my style of trading. But I want to learn how to like capture that full momentum move and not necessarily give back too much and feel like, oh my God, I just freaking let this $400 banger go back to zero. Like that doesn't make sense to me. Any like it's a hard,
Ooh.
it's just a hard experience.
Yeah. Oh, that's the 200. About to say.
So I like the I like the idea. Yeah, I like the idea for using this and knowing in the back of your mind that you should get out because you're looking for a trend play. If the trend play isn't hitting those targets that the market is setting up or that the play is setting up, then you probably should stop out of that trade. You know what I'm saying? So, or at least not let it go, the full, like, I don't know. I guess all I'm trying to say is don't let the opposite trigger go to 5R on you. Like, you just broke rules like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, just pull back there. It's like, this is a nice pullback. If I get in at this is target 2. If I get in at target 2, like, where do I put my stop? All the way down there, or do I put it at?
Probably start target 1. Because my thing is, like, if it starts letting go, like, so yeah, or wherever the most recent pivot is at. But for me, like, this is, and I'm gonna see if it's gonna happen. So the 200 tick chart has just flipped red. It flipped red a few candles ago. I would like to see the bulls come back in and bring this back up and flip it green, because that should be that's going to be a nice clean pullback on the 2-minute and the 5-minute. Whereas like you would be buying in right here. Like if you was looking at my chart, this is a pullback where you would be buying the low of this pullback, getting an excellent entry. But I would want to see it cross back over green so that I know that the momentum is back going bullish. But what is your chart showing right now? We still bullish, or that supply that it just tanked out at?
No, it's about to flip. So I'll show you. It's gonna flip this and trigger a short play real quick.
Yeah, so see, it's almost like how mine, when my 200 flips red, it's gonna flip red, but then it can flip right back green again.
Which is fine. I'm okay with that because I have a predefined stop that doesn't get too far away from this zone.
Yeah,
Right?
Yep.
But you can trust, like right now, it just printed so the signal comes in, and then this print, it prints the play. So like this pullback is legit with a stop right above that money zone. So I wouldn't put it at 36. I'll put it at 38. Just giving it like if that money zone fails, it's gonna flip back green. You don't really want to be a part of that bull run.
See, I do want to be a part of it though. So that's what I'm saying. So like my 200 chart right now is red.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to flip back green. And when it does, if I look at the 2-minute chart, I should have a bottom and tail on my 2-minute chart. And then I'm going to be looking to get into the next 2-minute candle to make a high. So it's almost the 200 is confirming when I should be getting ready to go back long again.
I agree with that. Like on the TikTok.
Yeah. So like my tick chart right now is straight bearish. And literally, like when it flipped at 42, that's when it turned. So I don't know if you log on YouTube, you'll be able to see my charts.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm gonna do that. This thing about to go 2 hour already, bro. Oh my god.
To the short side, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's bouncing off the 200 now. Broke another level. This thing. Let's see what it does. Cause see, I couldn't actually the darn 5-minute chart was so close to flipping back green.
Take these trades all day, or let the bot take like these setups, and it's gonna lock in profits for every ATR that the market moves. Whereas the human is like, no, I want the full friggin' move back down, and you may get that, but this, it's gonna just keep locking in some profits.
And see, that's what I need to figure out how to do on those bots that I have to where when it hits key levels, move that stop and lock that in.
Or take some off the table, like try, because like again, the move is the trend. So if you can maximize the hell out of that trend, you can make some bigger money as opposed to trying to get in and out, in and out, in and out. But if you can take the meat of the move for that specific time frame strength, then all you really need to do is take enough contracts and scale out. And I like it right now because if my stop, in this case, the stop was 32 to 36. That's a 4 to 5 point friggin' stop, bro. And this thing just went almost 2 hours already.
Yeah, and this thing that the Bulls ain't putting up no fight. I said this earlier today. Every time it comes to a key level, it's like the Bears just put they feet on their neck and just smush them down.
There's remember that 16049 this morning that was just clapping it hit 7 times. It took the 7th try to go to 8-5 to break out. And that was just annoying, but you know, at the end of the day, and this bot didn't miss it. This bot kind of got you into that breakout. Top you up during when you were in your play. Look at what the bot was doing. Remember the play you were in on up there?
What was that?
Remember when you were in the breakout trade?
Uh-huh.
Look at what the bot was doing up there. Or rather that thing was short, finally long, and then exactly when you decided to take your profit was when the freaking thing went crazy.
Yeah. And the thing was, on my charts, that's exactly when it flipped green. So I was like, you big dummy, I got out right when it flipped.
Yeah, but I mean, again, like you sat through all that consolidation and go back down, given the risk that you had. Just like I hear why you exited that trade. Like no questions about it. But I do like I did like that run up that it had. And again, you never know which one of these are going to give you the trend. You just want to make sure you have a decent stop so the market doesn't take you for a ride in the direction. You at least locked in 2 hours. Sit down.
See the darn what you call it. The 2 minute about to flip red. We at the end of the day now. It's 10 minutes till. Yep, there it go. It just flipped. I'm about to back the truck up and put everything on the line. Put everything on the line right here. But it's bouncing off of VWAP. So even though it flipped red, like I would not want to go short right here because this is going to fight VWAP. Like I was telling my viewers, like you could look at the market two different ways and both ways can be right. Because I look at areas of price action that is going to catch it with resistance. And you look at it as all areas are made to be broken.
Yeah. Especially on a smaller time frame, I'm not about to give up my coin because there's a few sellers here. Like, all right, pull us back.
Yeah, but they both, like, neither one is right or wrong. They both are valid arguments because all price levels will eventually get took out, whether you're going long or short. Man, that thing tried to bounce nice off VWAP and just, I told you, man, these doggone bears are just relentless. They are straight up relentless. Look at that.
Locking in profits, bro. Just locking it in. Look at this. 3R about to hit 4R.
Man. How many points is that? If I would have took that short, that would have been like 10 points. I started to take it just because it flipped red too. Just grab one MNQ, 10-point risk.
15 points from the red box is the move, and you're only risking 4 points.
Yeah.
So 3R. Yeah, no, it's almost 17.
Yeah, that's a nice bounce right there. It's the hourly 50 right here. Or no, that's just a price level line. Oh, that is hourly EMA hourly 50. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to see this on a bigger time frame, so I'm gonna just pump up to the 15 is my go-to baby, right? So man, look at the way it caught last night's move.
And see, that's me. I've been using the 15 almost as my bias. Like my intraday bias. Because I haven't even looked at the hourly. What is the hourly? So the hourly is back bullish, but it is about to flip back red. So the 15 just gives me, that's basically one time frame up from the 5, so that makes sense. 5 is one time frame up from the 2. But yeah, I like the 15. Ooh wee, just nasty. That was nasty.
So the 5 minute has a bigger CTR. This thing is saying you need to risk 10 points. We just went 2R on this thing. Yep.
Yep, boss. Futures are 23.6. The market will close at 5 o'clock, and then it'll open back up at 6 o'clock, and it'll run all the way again till 5 o'clock the next evening. I do. If I'm sitting in front of my desk and just like, I don't know if you can hear myself and other gentleman named Spark, from Spark and Trade on YouTube. We sitting over here chopping it up. But a lot of times in the evening, if we're just sitting at the computers, we'll trade the after hours sessions. There's certain times throughout the evening where you'll see more volatility than other times. So like 3 o'clock in the morning, you'll have like other countries, their stock market will come online and it'll bring volatility to our stock market. So yeah, I trade just like yesterday, Sunday evening, when I'm at my part-time little gig, I'll pull my laptop out, take some trades. Usually what time would you say in the evening, Spark, the most volatility comes in? Around 10?
Clock open, and yeah, around 10.
Okay.
Kind of dies down between 11 and 12. Probably picks up around 1, 2 again.
Okay, yeah. So around 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock in the evenings, you'll get some decent volatility, and then around 2 o'clock, and then of course the U.S. pre-market opens back up at 4 o'clock, and you'll see some real good volume come in at 4 o'clock usually, because you'll have those orders that's just been sitting out there in the regular stock market that's going to push the futures market. But that's another good reason about the futures. You're not kind of just limited to a particular hour, whereas options, you only can trade options 9:30 to 4. You can only trade them during the session. Whereas with futures, you could trade it pre-market just like any other equity, but futures also gives you that flexibility to trade, like you say, 23 hours. And I'll let Spark know. Just got you a new sub over there, Spark. He said he just subbed to you.
Oh, awesome. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, you have to check it out. Check it out. Like I said, I'm gonna try to stream, at least make Wednesdays my confirmed day that I'll be streaming. But kind of like just sitting here, even if I'm not taking any trades. I kind of like watching what the charts are doing. Yeah, and I'm not sure what hours you drive, but yeah, the futures market is always, and it's depending on your style of trading. Even during those slow times, it's trades out there. Because if you're a pattern trader, patterns are going to form anytime. If you're a momentum trader, it's a little harder trying to trade when it's not much volume in the market. But yeah, I'm sure if you look at the charts after hours, you'll see that they look similar. Oh, it's only 1 minute left. Tick chart just flipped back green like they trying to do something, but I would not be taking a trade right now. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Now I told you I took that trade Thursday, Thanksgiving. And the market closed at 1 o'clock and it kept me trapped in that trade. I was like, oh, snaps. I was like, I hope they don't hold this against me. Yeah, that was a nice flip back green. That's why I love how these charts flip colors, man. It just makes it, I don't have to look at the moving averages to see. It just it flips and I'm like, good. That's going to be, watch, it's going to flip back red. And that was just going, let's see if that was just a pullback. Yeah, there go that end of the evening volatility, end of the session. No doubt, yeah. That's what I like to look at too. So that last 15-minute candle, that was the third highest volume candle of the day. So of course the first candle of the morning was the highest. And then 10 o'clock, that's good because that 10 o'clock news, and then the last candle. So opening session, news, and then end of day. Yeah, well, man, I'm about to head out here in this shop real quick. I need to get some orders done. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me over here in YouTube. If you hadn't already hit the like button, as always, I would appreciate it. It doesn't cost you a dime, and it will help me out in these YouTube streets. Hopefully you enjoyed the commentary, and we'll be back at it another day. I am going to look to get a recap done today. Today was an amazing day. Amazing day. What up, Marksman? Boss, if you still out there, Marksman is another one that hangs out in the Discord, and he has a YouTube channel as well. He does his recaps, starting to do recaps, so be sure to check him out as well. And be safe on the road, man. Be safe on that road out there, because these doggone people in cars do not respect trucks. They think that y'all brakes work like theirs do. So be safe out there, man. And we'll be back at it again another day. And all right, later. Cool. Yeah, I like this, man. It's pretty cool.